Hello, I am a Soot Sprite. I'm known for being in films like Spirited Away and My Neighbor Totoro, created by Studio Ghibli, a Japanese animation studio co-founded by Hayao Miyazaki. Today I will break down Miyazaki's process and understanding of animation, and go over his inspirations and explain why he does what he does. I want to go in depth on why he chooses old-fashioned ways of animation and why he's against AI and CGI. I want to bring up what inspires him and how his process starts with a film. Overall, I want to understand more about who he is as an artist and how he changes the animation industry. Hayao Miyazaki was a Japanese illustrator who grew up in Tokyo, Japan. He started out as a key animator and co-director at Toei Animation in 1963, working on films like Lupin III, Part 1, and The Wonderful World of Puss in Boots. After Toei Animation, he went on to become a freelance animator and directed his first theatrical release, Lupin III, The Castle of Cagliostro. Around the late 1970s, Miyazaki started developing concepts for My Neighbor Totoro, Princess Mononoke, Castle in the Sky, and Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. Many people who worked with Miyazaki, who later co-founded Studio Ghibli along with Miyazaki, took his concepts of Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind to Yasuyoshi Tokuma, a film producer. It took a whole Nausicaa manga to be produced and received with praise before Yasuyoshi Tokuma decided to produce the film. When Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind came out in 1984, the movie received great reviews and was a catalyst to Studio Ghibli being founded. In 1984, Miyazaki co-founded Studio Ghibli with Isao Takahata, Toshio Suzuki, and Yasuyoshi Tokuma. In 1986, their first film directed by Miyazaki, Castle in the Sky, was released to great reviews from critics all praising the story and the visuals. Though this film did quite poorly in the box office, raking in $6 million on an $8 million budget, the film did not stunt the company. Kiki's Delivery Service, which was the company's next big hit, kept the company afloat. From there, the company had a steady incline over the years with their box office, budget, quality, and praise. Today, Studio Ghibli is considered one of the best anime film companies in the world. But what is making Miyazaki stick with the company all these years? He has tried to retire several times, but always comes back. It is much deeper than being a part of a company on par with Disney, or making a ton of money with each new film. Miyazaki is a dedicated animator and storyteller. He isn't a part of the corporate greed that most animation companies are becoming nowadays. So what separates Miyazaki from the new, greedy, cheap, and corporate industry that the animation industry is becoming? When you're in the game so long that the norm around you is now to cut corners and play it safe, Miyazaki has always tried to outdo his past self and stick to the classic formula of animation. Miyazaki is one of the most respected animators of all time. Miyazaki firmly believes in the storytelling of emotional stories and the visual quality of an animated film. He says that the imperfections that can be apparent in traditional animation, compared to something like CGI, shows a lot more emotion, that he has a lot more control of the whole aspect of the image with traditional animation. Miyazaki was initially inspired by older manga artists like Tetsuji Fukushima, Soji Yamakawa, and Osamu Tezuka. Other things like Japanese folklore or places in Japan have also inspired Miyazaki, as he would like to travel around before starting on a film. Though it is usually stressful during the process of starting a film, traveling and being patient is a way to balance out Miyazaki's process. War plays a large theme in most Studio Ghibli films. Miyazaki's thoughts on war are that it's important to not forget the tragedies of war regarding Japan, and that war is abhorrent. War comes up in most Studio Ghibli films to teach children, demonstrate how war is a relevant way to gain power, and how destructive it can be. Miyazaki was a child during World War II, witnessing the devastation firsthand, which shaped his worldview and artistic expression. Miyazaki is very important to the animation industry. He preaches important morals through his films and doesn't cut corners to do so. He believes with a lot of thought and dedication, you can make something that can be important. He never intended to make deep movies that mean so much to people, but that doesn't change the fact that he did, and that people were moved. Miyazaki is the golden standard for an animator to strive to be, in my opinion, and that the animation industry should take notes. Thank you for watching! If you ever had the chance, watch Spirited Away. It is so good, you'll never forget it. Bye!